Good to talk to you again, Coach. How are you?
Dan, it's great to be with you. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Do we have a Cinderella team, in your opinion, in this Sweet 16?
You know, if Xavier can continue to play the way they're playing, they could be a Cinderella as an 11 seed. They had two devastating injuries and really had to beat Butler in their conference tournament, because they were kind of on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And what Chris Mack has done there and the consistency with which he's done it, makes them a tough draw. They change defenses. They're playing well right now, and they probably shouldn't be as far as they are based on their seeding, but that's where they're at.
What did you think of South Carolina this year?
I'll tell you what, they couldn't score 65 points in a game, let alone in a half, and they did it against one of the best teams in the country and the Hall of Fame coach. Unbelievable story, Dan. I mean, Frank Martin is who he is. Yes, he's a scary dude. Yes, he was a math teacher. He is as good a man as there is in our business. Nobody loves their kids more than Frank Martin loves his kids. They've got a special relationship. I'm so happy for him. And I'm proud of the SEC that our third or fourth best team was able to go in and beat Marquette and beat Duke and is still alive in the NCAA tournament. Thornwell is a beast. And when you've got a monster on your team, the other guys, all they got to do is defend, rebound, make open shots, not be overwhelmed by the moment. But we got Thornwell and you don't, and Thornwell's going to make all those tough plays. And I think South Carolina, from that standpoint, is in a great position, and they've been a great story.
You obviously went against Kentucky this year. UCLA beat Kentucky at Kentucky. So what changes this time around, if anything?
Well, the good news for Kentucky is they're defending better than they've been defending, and that's always been the key to John Calipari's teams, in the sense that he's going to have incredible talent. They're going to play very unselfishly. They're going to play fast, so you got to be really good in transition defense. Fox is incredible, pushing the break. Bam Adebayo was a freak athlete. Monk being as inconsistent as he's been from the perimeter is a real concern. But the one thing that John Calipari has got him doing now that they haven't always done all season long is defend. And if they don't do a better job of defending UCLA is going to put 100 on them, and they're going to run away from them. But Kentucky did defend well against Wichita State. They had to. They kind of ground that one out. But in the first meeting, Dan, Alonzo Ball did not play well. I mean, he had 7 assists, 6 turnovers. UCLA turned it over 18 times. They're not going to do that in the second rematch. And the last 2 times UCLA's played Kentucky, they put up a lot of points and shot 53%. I'm concerned for Kentucky. If they don't defend better, they'll get beat. And it could be a good margin.
Lonzo Ball is sort of the unicorn in college basketball. That it's not often you see somebody like this who is a pass first, a field guy. Is it a Jason Kidd, a little taller version of Jason Kidd? How would you describe what you see with Lonzo Ball? And then next year in the NBA, or as he starts his NBA career, what does he add? What changes with Lonzo Ball?
I think the word that comes to mind is it's infectious. The way he plays affects the other 4 guys on the floor because he is such a brilliant passer. He is so unselfish. He's got the size in both the break to throw the ball over the top as well as in ball screen defense. When people come out and defend the ball screen, their size in the defense, Lonzo Ball can see over the top of that size. So I see him continuing to have a great professional career. The jump shot's janky. He's got a lot of muscle memory that, practice makes permanent. Practice does not make perfect.
Well, wait a minute. What's janky mean?
It's janked up. It's jacked. You look at that thing. It's broke.
Can you fix it? Can you fix it?
Yeah, he can, because he's got a brilliant eye. He's got a great eye. And when to shoot the ball like he shoots the ball and have it go in with the percentage it goes in, he's got phenomenal vision. And it's like a guy whose putting stroke is just awful. And you play with him on Sundays, and for some reason it just goes in.
Janky.
And so yeah, he could fix that. Janky.
Did you ever have a dad anywhere near what Lonzo Ball's dad, LeVar Ball, is like, be involved in a program or recruiting?
Never as visible, never as publicly visible. But I'm going to offer just a bit of a different perspective. Dan, I've had way too many kids that didn't have dads. I had way too many kids that didn't have parents in their life with those kind of expectations. I look at it in two ways. One, his job as a parent, and two, his job as an entertainer and involving the brand. I don't even pay attention to the entertainer. I ignore him, but I love what he's done with his kids. As parents, they have got their kids at a high level. It doesn't seem to affect them. Well, that's just my dad. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of kids out there that wish they had a dad that loved them so much and cared about them so much. And I ignore the silliness because I just think that's part of the show.
Well, I think what he's asking for, hoping for, pleading for, begging for, he's getting. And that is, he's getting attention. And I liken him to Kris Jenner and the Kardashians, that he wants that sort of, that if you had a reality show right now with LeVar Ball, this would be really interesting behind the scenes of what is being said about him, what he's saying about Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, what he's saying about LeBron's kids. It's in real time. It is interesting as a reality show, but I don't know how long it continues before America spits it back. If
you had those three guests as part of the reality show, I mean, the ratings would be off the charts if you could get that group. And we are still talking about it. Something drove Venus and Serena.
Yeah.
Something drove them to a completely different level, both mentally, physically, and obviously it was their father. Something drove Tiger Woods to a different level where they just weren't trying to be great. They were trying to be the best ever of all time. And somehow he and his wife and their family have I'm not saying this kid's Tiger Woods, and I'm not saying he's the Venus, with the Williams sisters, but he's on path. He's on that course. And he doesn't do it, the kid, just bringing attention to himself.
I know.
He does it by making everybody else better. So it's really brilliant. Like he is so opposite his dad, but that opposites attract. And right now it's working really well for them.
Yeah, I like the fact that Lonzo Ball just plays, and he's gotten all this attention because for the right reasons, because he's a very talented player. It almost feels like Dad didn't accomplish anything, and he wants to hold on for dear life to say, notice me. And then when you call out Jordan to say you would have scored on Jordan, that's funny if he means to be funny, but he wasn't meaning to be funny.
I don't take him seriously. I mean, anybody that averaged 2 points and 2 rebounds at Washington State or wherever he was, he can't take himself seriously. He can't. I mean, he's a terrorist. He's unreasonable. I mean, there's no reasoning with him. But I don't know him well enough to know whether or not he's serious or half baked. I just don't.
Keep up the great work. 18 and 14 this past year at Auburn, and guest studio analyst there with Turner Sports. It's always great to talk to you, Coach.
Dan, I enjoy it. Thanks for bringing it every day. And my dad is one of your biggest fans. He's a huge critic of people in your industry because he's forgotten more than most of you guys know, and he's a big Dan Patrick fan.
What's your dad's name?
Bernie Pearl lives down in South Florida, and there's no doubt he's listening now. No doubt.
I got to send Bernie. I'm going to send Bernie some gear, okay?
Oh, are you kidding?
We're going to put you on hold.
We're in the workout room every day.
Yeah, we're going to put you on hold. Fritzy will get the address for your dad, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. That's Bernie Pearl's son, Bruce Pearl. By the way, Bruce Pearl, Coach's Corner, brought to you by Continental Tire, designing tires to get you where you need to go. And their award-winning Eco Plus technology will gain you miles, save you money. From the True Contact to the Cross Contact tire. The tire that you need to do what you do. Continental Tire, proud supporter of the Dan Patrick Show. For more info, visit ContinentalTire.com.